Hi everyone, I just wanted to do a video and have a chat about trauma and also about the saviour complex that we're all indoctrinated with from a young age to have. So trauma embeds within us. It can become not just something that happened in our past, but that continues to happen in our present and our future if we don't, get on top of it and start to, deal with the issues or seek out some help and assistance with that trauma. It can also show up as like body aches and pains in our body. Could be a cough that you just can't get rid of. So it can also show up in that way as well. And again, if you find the right healer, we can move that energetically as well, because it does, everything embeds within our body and in our energy centers and our energy system. And our energy system is extremely sophisticated. Unfortunately, we're not taught about these things in school. It's something we have to learn on our own. And even then, sometimes it's hard to even wrap your head around it because there's so much information that's hidden from us, from those evil ones running the world that don't want us knowing about this stuff. So they use it for themselves. They want to know about it. They just don't really want us to know just how magnificent and amazing we are and how connected we are, and that we're emitters and receivers of energy. And even when something happens in the magnetic sphere, we do feel it. Maybe you're not consciously aware of it, but subconsciously, super subconsciously, your energetic bodies are fully aware of it. And this is, it's huge. It's huge information. We should want to know these things about ourselves. So trauma can embed, and, our bodies, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, it's all interconnected. You can work on just one thing, but if you don't work on the whole, then you're still going to have like some issues, and the trauma will keep showing up. So we can work on our physical self, and that will help with our mental and emotional, because we feel a little bit better, we feel fitter, we've moved some of the energy physically. But we also need to look at our mental state as well and what's going on for us mentally and emotionally. And when we're able to discuss those things, with a therapist, then we can, feel a lot better about ourselves. So then we're working on all different aspects of ourselves, not just one particular aspect on its own, like just the physical self. We also are brought up with this saviour complex, so like the Prince Charming, the knight in shining armour, Superman, Wonder Woman, Jesus, the second coming, the aliens, there's always this, like a saviour thing that they indoctrinate us with from a young age in the movies and, the things that we watch on the television vision. So it's very clever because it does, on a subconscious level, make people feel like they don't really have to do much, because there's always going to be someone's going to come and save us in the end. And so the evil running the planet, they also run the media and Hollywood and the rest of it, they want you to think that. They want you to sit around and not worry about it, because why should you care? Don't worry about it. It's got nothing to do with you. So they want us to have that feeling that someone's going to come and save us. Now, the Hopi prophecy, that we are the ones we've been waiting for, is the most accurate prophecy ever put on this planet, and it's the most important prophecy for all of us to continue to remember each day. And, they've done a good job over the different generations to segregate family, to segregate us, and to keep us and now isolated, and so that we're not coming together, contemplating what's going on in the world, contemplating and having discussions about all these things and how, we've been manipulated so much and indoctrinated. So even when I hear stories like my mother and other elders, I love listening to old people and their stories. But my mum grew up in a village, and from the stories that I hear from them, everyone was looked after. Children were looked after. Even if you weren't blood related to the neighbour still looked after you. No one went without. No one was starving. They didn't have anything. They were peasants. They didn't have money and stuff, because that's a different story about the history of that country. But they still helped each other, with food, and, they would rally together. And now we see a massive movement over the last 10, 20 years even of community, building community, being around like-minded people. So, and that is really great because we know that it works. And, once upon a time we did all get along. It wasn't always war and destruction the way they tell us with their false his story instead of true history. Because if we were taught true history, well, then the game would be over. They wouldn't have a leg to stand on. But they don't want us to know true history. And this is why when they invade countries, they destroy museums, they kill the academics, the patriots, anyone that knows anything about true history, they want to get rid of that information because it doesn't serve their agenda. So, right now, a lot of us are enslaved by the same set of people that own and run everything, own and run our governments. And we're all frustrated because we know that we have criminals in government. We know that there are politicians that have literally gotten away with murder. And we all want justice. I want justice. I want these people to be held accountable and to be put in jail. And all the assets seized and given back to the people. The same with Kill Bill Hellgates. I mean, who is he going around, literally murdering people with his vaccines? These people need to be held accountable, and not just like a kangaroo court where they go in there and pretend that there's some justice done and yet they get away with a slap on the wrist or, a minute little fine that they don't care because they've got all the wealth anyway of the world. So, and so we can be re-traumatized with everything that's happening in the world. So what's happening in our own individual life to what's happening as a collective, it does affect us all because we're all part of it. And we're all, we're emitters, receivers of energy. We feel that with each other. Energetically, when we're around each other, our bodies are talking to each other energetically. And there's so much that goes on in our subconscious and super subconscious. And again, we're not taught these things. So if you are finding things hard, make sure you reach out and get the help that you need, because we can help each other and heal ourselves from these things. But the point of this message is that don't be afraid of trauma and hardships. There are still things I'm dealing with on a daily basis with certain traumas and hardships for myself. There's things that I have dealt with and it's not an issue anymore for me, which is great. So we are always, working on things, and no one is free from it. No one is 100% healthy, got their shit together, because we just don't live in a world that's 100% healthy yet because of the indoctrination, because we're all living it. So unless you're a monk living in a cave and where you've got, no contact with anything that's going on in the world, then maybe you can live in an oblivion of what's really going on. But that's just not how it works for the rest of us, unfortunately, because we're all in this together. So it is about non-compliance in allowing these individuals and people to continue to insult, insult us and insult our soul and who we are and our intelligence, So it is about coming together and working together on that. And look, even with my clients, it's always been word of mouth. So whether I put things on social media or not, it doesn't really matter, because it's, I could spend thousands of dollars advertising in magazines. That's not the way I get my clients. I get it through referral and word of mouth, which is the best form of advertising, I suppose. And, and I've seen wonderful results from people that are open and ready to move. And even the other day, I got some feedback from clients, which always makes me happy when they just send me these random messages to tell me like how they have really noticed the changes in them from when they've come to see me, and how they're responding differently to, things that happen to them in life. So, that's wonderful for me to hear. It always gives me confirmation to keep going. So I love it when I get that feedback, from my clients, because I love them all, because they're all brave, they're all warriors. It takes a lot of courage to step up, be vulnerable, to open up, and to start to heal ourselves, and to start to look at the things that we've been avoiding or, not wanting to look at, really. So you can have as many degrees and stuff and certificates and whatever along your wall, but if you haven't gone through things yourself, then you can't be a really good empathetic or therapist or healer. So I know with myself, the universe will always send people to me that have gone through things that I've gone through, so I can truly empathize with them. I don't get people, it's very rare if I get anyone coming to see me that's like got substance abuse or has been sexually assaulted as a young child. So it's rare. I do get them, but it's a very rare. And if it's a substance abuse, they've already come on top of it. They've already gone clean. So now they're looking at different layers and levels of their healing journey. So then they will come. But it's usually people who are stressed out, who do have traumas, who are feeling stuck, who have got, depressive states of mind, anxiety and things like that. So, and one of the clients that gave me feedback the other day, just after her first session, she felt her anxiety went down by 80%, which was like huge. And then her next session, and then the third one she come to, and she was like, at least 93%, it's gone. And then she's been going through some tougher experience the last month, but she still felt that her anxiety is still in check. It's still not as bad, and she hasn't gone backwards like she thought she was, because she was contemplating that, before coming to the session, which is great. She jots things down, makes notes, and for what she wants to talk about and how she has seen her progress with each session. So I love getting those type of feedback. So to anyone out there that may be struggling with things, maybe aches and pains that you just don't know where they're coming from, they just don't seem to go away, or you do feel it's hard to cope with what's happening in the world as a whole, reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be me. It can be me, but you can just reach out to someone, because there is someone there that can help and assist you. And it's not about all fluff and things like that. When people come see me, they know it's about truth. If you're not ready to face your truth, if you're not ready to face the truth, you're not going to walk in my door. The universe only sends people who are ready for their truth. And I remember one client years and years ago said to me, you really just slapped that truth in front of me, but I really needed it. And she said, I actually know a few other people that need that, So, that's great. And I just, it's done with so much love. And the prolific messages and stuff that comes through, it's done with a lot of love, because I want us to rise in our own health, in our own well-being, and as a collective and a whole. I mean, we all got unique fingerprints. We are all unique. Thank God for that, because how boring would this planet be if we're all the same? And that's actually what they want to create. They want to put one size fits all. They want to bring in robots that are just programs. I mean, that is boring, boring, boring. This is our home, and God created the universe, this beautiful earth, and created man. It wasn't God and then he created government, corporations, and then man and woman down the ladder somewhere. That's not the hierarchy, and that's not how it works. So we need to reclaim our lives. Stop waiting for a savior. Understand the savior indoctrination programming that's been embedded in us. And look, it's a good thing that we're programmable, because that's how we learn. We learn how to read and write because we're programmable. But these individuals that run the show here, they know that too, but they do it for their benefit by indoctrinating us and indoctrinating hate. This is why there's so much division, because each country, each set of people is indoctrinated differently from a young age, because this very sophisticated crime syndicate have organizations in every country of the world, and they are interfering in everything from education to media to government. So it's only when we take back our lives and understand that, then we can truly change this and create the world that we want. A great world where there is peace, and we help each other. We help each other through the massive traumas, because there is not a nation on this planet that has not gone through trauma, murder, and genocide. And right now, it's a global genocide and ethnocide. It's even happening to my people right now in Europe. So every nation has suffered, and it's time to stop that, because once upon a time we did all get along, and we used to trade with each other, and we shared information with each other, and we left each other be. We didn't force anything onto each other, and we can have that again. So I pray that happens. Anyway, I think I sort of went all over the shop. But anyway, the podcast is about life, health, and conspiracy. So it's a little bit of everything all in one. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the little chat, and I look forward to chatting again soon. And look out for my mindfulness mantra meditation series that I will be putting out soon. And I'm going to actually do it as a Zoom, so that everyone can come together and we can do it together. I think that might even be better. And a bit more support there, I think, for everyone as well. All right. Lots of love. Until next time, follow your bliss and be in joy. Bye.